Good evening and welcome to Late Night Review, where we talk about what's happening
and what's not.
I'm Jack Overbeck.
And I'm Pranav J. Raman, and tonight, here's today's top stories.
Austin's annual Music, Tech, and Film Festival, South by Southwest, was canceled last Friday amid concerns about the spreading coronavirus. And while it is great that we won't have the influencer class of the entertainment world descending on our humble oasis of Texan liberalism this year, now we're just going to have all this excess craft beer lying around when we don't even have enough soap in stores to wash our hands with. Next thing you know, everyone will be washing their hands with the beer, and it'll be called Roundup.
I don't know, Jack. It looks like Roundup might be in jeopardy too, as public health officials are urging people to refrain from congregating in large gatherings. And you know what they say, the only thing worse than large groups of people? Large groups of people interacting with large groups of animals. I mean, come on. Who would even think of holding an event like that right now? I can't wait to go home over spring break.
In other coronavirus news, Costco has recently announced that it will stop giving out free samples of most of its products. Most people think this is to cut down on community transmission, but I know the real reason behind the new policy. It's going to be real hard to tell which people are coming around for seconds when everybody's dressed like this.
The Iditarod dog sled race is happening right now in Alaska. This year especially is difficult because mushers are reportedly experiencing high amounts of snowfall en route. Speaking of seeking to capitalize on all of the epicness, the X Games quickly announced their race featuring dogs riding rocket-powered snowboards powered by Red Bull. Some animal rights activists say the race should be stopped because it results in the death of at least one dog every year. But of course we'll keep going because this is America, and we all know how much we love running stuff into the ground.
Speaking of races that have gone on too long, Joe Biden won big against Bernie Sanders in last week's Super Tuesday primaries, winning 10 of the 14 states that voted and taking the lead with 652 delegates against Sanders' 575. Biden hopes to increase that margin by winning a majority of the 7 territories voting in today's Big Tuesday polls. Wait, that can't be right. Big Tuesday? As in the election that occurs 1 week after Super Tuesday and includes half as many states, so they just call it Big Tuesday? That Big Tuesday? That'd be like if 1 week after Patrick Mahomes received more football points than Jimmy Garoppolo in the Super Bowl primary, they had a much lower stakes rematch that was even more of a foregone conclusion, called the Big Bowl.
Despite suffering what generous commentators have called a disastrous embarrassment on Super Tuesday, former New York mayor and marionette that wished to be a real small boy, Michael Bloomberg, did have something to show for his estimated $500 million he spent on his presidential run, leaving the night with a single outright victory in American Samoa. For $500 million, instead of one American Samoa, he could have gotten 1,875,000,000 Girl Scout Samoas, or 4 billion Thin Mints, or paid for 350,000 stop and frisks.
With Elizabeth Warren dropping out of the race this past week, the average age of the remaining candidates has risen to 76. Feel the burn? More like feel the earn. Make America great again? You have a warped sense of history. No malarkey? What the hell does that even mean, Joe? Come on! Senator Warren still has yet to announce whether she will be endorsing either Sanders or Biden. Meanwhile, Bernie doesn't give a damn. He's just out there on the campaign trail, underdogging it, Rudy style, like the OG that he is, perpetrating socialism by redistributing Public Enemy's wealth away from Flavor Flav.
Meanwhile, good old Sloppy Joe is over at his rallies confusing his sister for his wife. No wonder he won Alabama. Who do you think he's going to endorse him next? Leonard Skinnard? He said that his wife and sister switched up on him. But then here he is over at another event attempting to quote the Declaration of Sentiments by saying, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, that there are endowed..." Oh, you know, the thing. No, Joe, what thing? I think we all know what is really going on here. Soon his next campaign ads are just going to be, "Hi, I'm Josh Brolin, and I've forgotten this message."
Last night, the supermoon appeared in the month of March, which is apparently known as a worm moon by people who care about that sort of thing. I would have asked the guy who usually tells me about those things what this worm moon was supposed to mean, but a key part of my New Year's resolution involved cutting him out of my life.
Experts say that Canadian women are on track to reach gender equality in 164 years. Meanwhile, in America, men and women are created by, you know, the thing.
Super Tuesday was this past week in Texas, and hopefully all of y'all got out there and voted.
Here to talk about voting on campus, the guy who likes waiting in lines.
Woo! Well, hey there, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So, Super Tuesday, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I just love Super Tuesday. You know, it's one of my favorite days of the whole year.
Oh, because you like voting?
In a way, I like voting, yeah.
Because you get to do your civic duty as an American, right?
Oh, no, Jack. No, the line is so long.
Oh, because you like waiting in lines.
Yeah, oh, it gets me going, being in a line.
If you don't mind us asking, who'd you vote for?
Oh, well, I'm not really comfortable disclosing, but I'm just going to say that I always vote for the candidate with the longest line.
I don't know what that means. What was it like? Where did you vote on campus?
Oh, I went over to Fallon Academic Center, Perry Castaneda Library, I went to the Texas State Capitol, Chester City Limits, the alley behind the Quiznos on Congress. I voted at all of them.
Wait, you voted at all of them?
If by voted, you mean waited in line. And then stole a sticker, and then went to the back of the line again. Then, yes, I did vote at all of them.
Okay, I'm sorry. So what you mean to say is that you did not vote?
Oh, hold on. Hold on. I've been on hold for the past 2 days. It's been bliss. Hello? Customer service! Hello? Dang, there goes my afternoon.
So is that just like your thing? You wait in lines?
Yep. Sometimes I go on over to the DMV and I just have them move me around as much as they want. It's pretty wild sometimes.
Do you like to do anything else other than stand in lines?
I dabble in queues.
What do you do when what do you do when you're waiting in line?
Oh, well, mainly just this. Oh, if I stand here, it's almost like I'm waiting in a line. You guys gotta try this. Come on, get up.
No,
Yeah, come on, get up. Come on. Give it a try. Yeah, come on. Oh, isn't this wonderful? We're alive. Oh, this is great.
So you just stand?
Well, sometimes I make more lines to wait in.
How do you make more lines?
You know, jam printers, get large deli orders, book really big celebrities in small venues, the usual.
That's kind of chaotic of you.
Something along those lines. No, don't sit down. Oh, fine, just not fine anymore.
Look, I'm sorry, but can we get back to voting?
Yeah, if you wanna. What about voting, John?
Well, who are you going to vote for? That was the question that we asked. In the November election, who will you vote for in the November election?
Oh, well, actually, I'm not voting for anyone. You see, first of all, November, so far away, such a long wait. But I'm not voting in the November election because I'm here to announce that I'm running for president. Well, not running, I'm standing.
Well, you can't do that. It's too late anyways.
My platform focuses on order, and my goal will be to make America into one huge, long line of waiting. I'll wait for you! I'll wait for you! I'll wait for you! I'll wait for you! I'll wait for you!
The guy that likes waiting in lines, everybody! Italy, which now has over 9,000 cases of coronavirus, closed its borders on Monday to contain the outbreak, canceling flights to and from the country. Fear not, however, because Spirit Airlines is still offering $100 round-trip tickets to Italy, and it even includes a parachuting experience.
Speaking of wanting to jump out of a plane, Senator Ted Cruz has begun a 2-week self-imposed quarantine after interacting with attendees of the Conservative Political Action Committee conference that later tested positive for coronavirus. Wow, blame the corona. I know that move. He's exiling himself to hide that no one in the Senate likes him. It's just like when I never went to any parties in high school because I would always get sick the morning of. It had nothing to do with the fact that no one invited me. Additionally, since this quarantine, there's been a tremendous decrease in murders by the Zodiac killer. So, coincidence? I think not.
Adding to an ever-growing list of canceled events here in Austin, the Statesman has recently reported that the Moto GP Red Bull Grand Prix of the Americas, which was scheduled for this April, has been postponed until November due to coronavirus concerns. At this rate, we're going to have to rename our city slogan from Keep Austin Weird to Keep Away from Austin.
As the spread of coronavirus prompts more conversations about people stopping gathering in large crowds, even the NBA is discussing telecasting games from stadiums full of empty seats. LeBron James has released a statement saying that he will not play any games without fans, which begs the question, what was he doing for the last 10 years?
In France, a small town is under fire for going ahead with hosting a Smurf rally, which saw a record total turnout of 3,500 people amid concerns about the growing epidemic. Now, I may be crazy, but this definitely looks like what would happen if you crossed James Cameron's Avatar with the KKK. Am I wrong?
Pope Francis delivered his annual Lent message to Catholics on Ash Wednesday, suggesting this Easter season people consider giving up trolling and be nicer in general on the internet, to which Communion Slayer 69 commented, "Freaking noob lol, what a stupid hat. We see that coughing, we know you have coronavirus. Wake up, sheeple."
Saudi Arabia has arrested 2 of its princes after they were caught allegedly planning a coup against Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The Saudi authorities have said not to worry about the princes too much. They're just taking them to the consulate in Turkey to talk to them.
Harry and Meghan are set to have their last night as official royals. To ease the transition, it is reported that they'll be meeting with the UT basketball team to learn more about living life without titles. For Late Night Review, I'm Pranav J. Raman.
I'm Jack Overbeck. Good night.
Good night.
Some of us from Houston, some of us from Dallas, some close to Mexico. Shout out to the Valley. Watch Longhorn late.